We configure Claude Code to run on Ollama, fully local. 7 steps, roughly 7 minutes. Works on Linux, macOS, and Windows with WSL or Git for Windows. We assume you have a working terminal and admin rights on the machine. Prerequisites. 4 things. 1. Node.js 18 or newer if you plan to use the npm installer. Verify with Node version. 2. At least 16 gigabytes of RAM or 16 gigabytes of VRM if you want decent speed. 3. Port 11434 free. That's Ollama's default API port. Check with LSOF IT-1434 4. Roughly 20 gigabytes of disk space for the model. With those in place, here's step 1. Step 1. Install Ollama. On Linux or Mac OS, run curl fssl https ollama.com install sh. On Windows, download the installer from ollama.com/download or run wingit install ollama. Homebrew users can run brew install Ollama. The installer registers Ollama as a background service and binds it to localhost on port 11434. When it finishes, run Ollama version. You should see v0.14.0 or newer, anything below that does not have the Anthropic API compatibility we need. The most common gotcha here, an older Ollama already installed. If Ollama version prints something like 0.9 or 0.12, run the installer again to upgrade, then restart the service before moving on. Step 2. Install Claude Code. 2 options. Option A, the zero-dependency native installer, curl, fssl https claude dai install sh cars bash. This is what Anthropic recommends on macOS and Linux. Option B, the npm package, npm install, yas Anthropic AI Claude Code. This needs Node 18 or newer. Do not prefix it with sudo. Anthropic's docs explicitly warn against sudo npm install dasan GADs because it causes permission issues. On Windows, run either command from inside WSL or use git bash. When it finishes, run Claude version. You should see something in the v2.1 line. A stale Claude binary on path from a previous install will trip you up. If the version looks wrong, run which Claude and remove the old one. Step 3. Pull a tool calling model and bump the context window. Run Ollama pull Qwen3 Coder. That's the 30 billion parameter coding model from the Qwen team, about 19 gigabytes on disk, 256,000 native context, and it supports tool calling, which Claude Code requires for file reads and edits. If you have less RAM, use Ollama pull GLM 4.7 flash instead. Now bump the context window. Ollama defaults to only 4,000 tokens, which Claude Code will fail on. Set the environment variable. Export Ollama context. Length 65536. Then restart the Ollama service. Confirm the model is there with Ollama list. Small models like Qwen 2.5, Coder 7b will load but won't do tool calling, so Claude Code behaves like a plain chat. Stick to the models named in this step. Verification. The single command that proves everything works. Ollama launch Claude, model Qwen3 Coder. This is Ollama's built-in integration. It sets the Anthropic base URL to localhost 11,434, sets the auth token to the literal string Ollama, and starts the Claude Code terminal UI pointed at your local model. You should see Claude Code's interactive prompt with the model name in the status bar. Type hello, press enter, and wait. On consumer hardware, expect 15 to 25 tokens per second. First response can take 30 to 60 seconds while the model loads into memory. If you saw a reply, you're done. Manual configuration if Ollama launch Claude is unavailable. Open Windows Claude settings.json. Inside the env block, set 3 keys. Anthropic base. URL. Set it to http /ds localhost 11434. Anthropic auth token. Set it to the string Ollama. Ollama ignores the value, but Claude Code requires the variable to exist. And Claude Code. Disable known essential traffic. Set it to 1 to silence telemetry. Save the file. Now launch Claude Code with plain Claude, then use the /model picker to select your Ollama model. If the launch subcommand returned unknown command launch for Ollama, your Ollama is older than version 0.14. Upgrade it and restart. After that, this manual path becomes your fallback. Common errors. 3 you will hit. 1. Connection refused on port 11434. Ollama is not running. Start it with Ollama serve in a separate terminal or restart the system service. 2. Model not found. The name in your launch command does not match what's in Ollama list. Run Ollama list, copy the exact model tag including the colon, and try again. 3. Claude Code replies in plain text, but never reads or writes files. 2 causes. The model does not support tool calling, in which case switch to Qwen3 Coder or GLM 4.7 Flash, or Claude Code's tool permissions are denied by default. Inside the TUI, type OS permissions and add bash and file tools to the allow list. With that, the install is done.